Have you ever wondered why Japan, one of the most expensive countries in the world, still produces people who quietly accumulate wealth without flaunting it? Why citizens in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, people surrounded by high rents, high living costs, and limited land, somehow manage to build financial freedom, strong retirement portfolios, and long-term equity growth while many others across the world struggle paycheck to paycheck? Here's the uncomfortable truth no one tells you. Japan became wealthy not because of high incomes, but because of quiet money moves that almost no one outside Japan pays attention to. Today, you're about to discover 8 quiet Japanese money moves that quietly make you wealthy. Habits so subtle, so psychologically deep, and so culturally rooted that they almost feel invisible. Until one day you look back and realize these tiny habits turned ordinary lives into wealthy ones. But before we start, let me warn you, each point is going to challenge your beliefs. Some of these ideas are going to feel strange. Some will feel uncomfortable. If you are new to channel, subscribe the channel for building wealth. Let's dive in. Japanese money move number 1, the Kakeibo mindset. Most people track what they spend, but they never track the emotion behind their spending. And that's exactly where Japanese financial culture rises above the rest of the world. The Japanese method called Kakeibo isn't just budgeting. It's a mindset that rewires how you think about money. It forces you to slow down and ask one powerful question before spending. What emotion is making me buy this? Research shows that nearly 90% of financial decisions are emotional, not logical. Overspending doesn't happen due to lack of money. It happens due to lack of awareness. People use money to escape boredom, mask insecurity, feel loneliness, impress someone, or feel temporary relief from stress. Kakeibo exposes these emotional patterns. Instead of numbing emotions with purchases, you learn to pause, reflect, and choose consciously. Kakeibo proves that awareness is more powerful than salary. Households practicing Kakeibo save an average of $2,400 a year simply because they stop emotional leakage. That's the same amount you could invest annually into index funds, blue-chip stocks, mutual funds, dividend stocks, or a balanced long-term retirement portfolio. Kakeibo Journal will tell you exactly which emotion spent it. Suddenly, your money habits stop being a mystery. Suddenly, you see the truth behind your purchases. Suddenly, your bank balance starts protecting itself. Number 2, the minimalist wealth filter, letting go to grow rich. People think minimalism is about aesthetics. In Japan, minimalism is a wealth-building tool. It's not about owning fewer items. It's about removing environmental triggers that make you spend unconsciously. Every item in your home demands something: time, attention, maintenance, replacement, upgrades, even emotional energy. And eventually, it demands money. Japanese minimalism revolves around the principle of mono o tebanasu, let things go. Not because it looks pretty, but because clutter creates financial noise. When your environment is chaotic, your decision-making becomes chaotic. And when your decisions are chaotic, your spending becomes impulsive. A Japanese entrepreneur wrote in a best-selling book, "When I removed clutter, I found room for wealth." Imagine walking into a home that feels calm, intentional, and free of temptation. No unnecessary noise, no impulsive triggers, just clarity. That clarity naturally shifts your focus from consumption to wealth building. And that's why minimalism alone can change the trajectory of your financial life. Number 3, the Kyoto system, silent collective wealth building. Japan has a fascinating cultural habit few outsiders truly understand. It's the idea of Kyoto, which means collective responsibility. In money terms, it's a silent wealth-building system where small groups collaborate financially, not to show power but to protect each other from financial instability. Imagine this. A group of 5 people contributes a small fixed amount every month, let's say $100 each, creating a shared pool of money. Every month, one member takes the accumulated amount, $500, and uses it for something important: paying debt, investing in index funds, starting a side business, or building an emergency fund. Next month, another member gets the turn. This rotational financial system quietly exists across many Japanese communities, among co-workers, neighbors, and even relatives. It's not flashy, it's not public, but it creates accountability, it creates discipline, it creates consistency. Kyoto turns saving into a ritual. It turns discipline into a social contract. And most importantly, it helps people achieve goals faster. But here's the twist. Japan doesn't just believe in community savings. They believe in transforming time itself into money. And that leads us to point 4, something that can change how you perceive value forever. Number 4, the value of time. Over money, the Japanese opportunity cost rule. In many countries, people say, time is money. In Japan, people say something far deeper. Time is wealth. Japan has a cultural habit called jikan kosudo, which means time cost. Before they spend money, they calculate how much time it would cost them, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, and physically. Most people think in dollars. The Japanese think in hours. Most people make the mistake of calculating affordability. Japanese culture teaches you to calculate value. Japan's opportunity cost mindset explains why average Japanese households have significantly larger cash reserves and higher long-term savings rates than many Western countries. Imagine how your financial life would change if every purchase, every subscription, every stock trade, and every luxury item had to justify the hours of your life it costs. Number 5. The Furoshiki principle, wrapping wealth in simplicity. If you've ever seen Japanese gift wrapping, you'll notice something elegant. They use a simple cloth called furoshiki. But the surprising part? It's not just for gifts. Furoshiki is a philosophy. Use what you have, reuse what you own, and protect what you value. This principle is deeply connected to wealth because it teaches resourcefulness over replacement. Instead of buying new things, furoshiki thinking encourages people to adapt, repurpose, and extend the life of what they own. Most people make the mistake of replacing too quickly, upgrading gadgets, buying new kitchen items, purchasing new clothing, or switching to new home decor even when the old ones work perfectly fine. Every replacement comes with hidden costs: maintenance, accessories, upgrades, storage, disposal, emotional clutter. The furoshiki mindset reduces all of that. It stretches dollars further. It increases cash flow. It protects savings that can be redirected into passive income investments like dividend stocks, ETFs, or a diversified stock portfolio. This mindset leads to a powerful transformation. Money stops being something you chase. It becomes something you protect. Number 6. Chinese philosophy, protecting generational wealth with silent continuity. When you hear the word generational wealth, your mind probably jumps to real estate portfolios, index funds, trust funds, or billion-dollar corporations. But Japan takes generational wealth to a completely different level through a tradition called shinise, a philosophy of preserving small family businesses, assets, and values for hundreds of years. Japan has over 33,000 businesses older than 100 years, more than any other country on Earth. Some are over 500 years old. These aren't massive corporations. Many are tiny stores, tea houses, inns, and craftsmanship brands quietly passed down from generation to generation. What makes Chinese powerful isn't the business itself, but the mindset behind it. Wealth survives when ego doesn't. Instead of chasing rapid growth, flashy expansion, or high-risk profits, Chinese families focus on durability, continuity, and preservation. Their goal is simple: protect the family asset, keep the legacy alive, and make sure each generation adds value to what they inherited.